Peace and prosperity to everyone. Thank you so much for being here on another Grounding Daily session. I am very happy and thankful to share this nature loving energy with you and the millions of people viewing around the world. We are tapping into this energy of love, peace, and prosperity, connecting with nature every single day. And bear with me as we ground our energy right now because I had a whole agenda of what we were going to tap in today as I was resonating with nature and the adjustments that we are making to better ourselves. I have seen so many of us who are, hey, pop star, peace and prosperity to you. I've seen so many of us who are going into different fasting and diets. Of course, Ramadan is going on right now. Shout out to everybody who is fasting. Shout out to everybody who is prayerfully connecting themselves deeper to themselves in the gratitude and love and energy that is connected to this time of the year. And so I really wanted to focus my live on speaking on that. Brother Hayes, we love you. Peace and prosperity to you. I really wanted to focus my live on that, but hey, Sean Griffin, peace and prosperity to you. I gotta remember to hold the mic because I my clip broke, so bear with me, y'all. But I really wanted to initially talk about that and a fast that I am initiating myself. As I share in this Ramadan energy, as I share in this cleansing energy, as some of y'all know, I am cleansing my own addictions as well. Peace and prosperity to you, my brother, gang. But I got to be honest, I have been literally uh, thrown off and distracted because right as I was preparing to, get everything going, I was preparing to, get everything going to come out here and do our live as usual. I heard about Angie Stone passing away. And that was, man, that was a very unpleasant surprise. Very unpleasant surprise. For those who know, um, approximately 3.5, 4 hours ago, Angie Stone was involved in a fatal car accident, and we lost her. I love her music, and interestingly enough, there's been multiple occasions where I've received spiritual downloads, and her songs will be playing. Hey, good to see you, my dear. Thank you so much for being here, Divine Honey Goddess. And so, like, I ain't gonna say I was the biggest fan of hers, but I always felt a strong spiritual connection to her music. I always felt a strong spiritual connection to her music. And like I said, it's been multiple moments in my life from a young man to even as a older adult where it just seemed like her music is always playing at a very pivotal time in my life. And so I didn't want to make the live about her per se, but I definitely have to. I always want to lead by example. Lifetime Hunt, thank you so much for being here. No Brain, No Gain, thank you so much for being here. Leanne, thank you so much for being here. Mac228, thank you so much for being here. I always want to lead by example. CJ Living, thank you so much for joining us. And leading by example, I always talk to everyone about attachment and detachment. How we have to acknowledge what we feel and deal with it and then let it go. We have to be able to let it go in order to make room for more energy, in order to make room for whatever comes next. We have to be able to let it go in order to make room for the next. And so I teach about attachment and detachment. Hey, so all over the place. Thank you so much for being here. Peace and prosperity to you and everyone. I go over this information about attaching and detaching. And so, what type of leader would I be if I'm not going to do the same? So I have to kind of tap in right now to a little bit of the sadness that I'm feeling in regards to losing her, because again, it was a huge surprise. Um, and like I said, for me personally, like just recently, I had a reading from a very trusted person I love and care about very much, and she gave me a lot of wisdom in a reading, not even 4 or 5 months ago. Peace and prosperity, Nate. We love you. Thank you so much for being here. And during the reading, uh, or I should say, right before the reading, she heard, "I wish I didn't miss you anymore." And then after I get the reading and I'm downloading and the energy received from the reading, I don't even listen to the radio like that. And I just so happened to turn on the radio and that song was playing again. And so it but that's not the first time I've had that kind of connection with Angie Stone's music. It really isn't. So I remember when she came out with Black Brother. And I remember I remember it was at a time where there was a lot of confusion about it. It's always some confusion about how much love we black men are receiving or not receiving. But it was definitely at a time that she dropped that song where, you know, people's traumas that they were attached to, it made it hard to love us. And I know some people don't want to hear that, but I'm a black man. If you can't tell, if you ain't noticed, if you ain't noticed. And so that song was very deep for me then. It's deep for me now. I if I can hope for anything out of this impact of her energy not physically being here anymore, I hope that song goes viral. I hope all her music goes viral, because she was connected to a loving space within herself as she saw her skin as beautiful, as she saw her life as beautiful. And so that was what was in her music, a love for self as a black person. And it was beautiful. T Woo, thank you so much for being here. Peace and prosperity to you. It was beautiful. And you felt it. And yeah, so again, I didn't want to necessarily make this live about that, because when I come out here and I'm leaning up against these trees, I'm hugging these trees, and I'm connecting y'all to this loving energy. I want to lead us into a prosperous, peaceful feeling. But the truth is that we have things happen all the time that we can't anticipate and predict for. I find out that she passed away literally within minutes of me preparing to come on live. It's unrealistic for who I am as a person to try to disconnect from that feeling of the loss and not properly address it, and then just come on here and just be in denial. And I don't live my life that way. I definitely don't promote any of you to live your life that way. I want us to be in reality with our love and our self-love. And the only way to do that is to allow you to feel anything and everything you're feeling, anything that's causing you trauma, anything that is weighing you down, you have to allow yourself to feel it in order to properly let it go. You have to. The attachment and detachment is extremely important. Hey, Flower Child, peace and prosperity to you. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much, everyone's coming in. For any names I missed, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Oh yeah, this Flower Child is what I do every day. Every day we come out and we ground. We touch a tree. Every single day of this calendar year. Normally my conversation is a little more upbeat as I come out and I connect daily. But as I was just saying in the beginning, I found out literally right before we got ready to go on live. We love you too. Thank you. We found out literally before we got on live that one of my favorite singers, Angie Stone, had passed away. And I constantly am sharing love with everyone and understanding that we have to attach and detach. That any feeling and emotion that we have, the the way to understand ourselves, the way to love ourselves more is to allow ourselves to feel whatever pain or loss or trauma we're going through, recognize where it comes from, deal with it, and then detach from it. So I am literally doing that now, leading by example, because for me, losing her, it doesn't, it reminds me of a time in music. It reminds me of an energy and an essence in music that I personally don't feel like we have a lot of anymore. And I want to see more of it. I want to see more love for our people in our music and in the things we do. And that's what she represented, you know? That's what she was about. So I'm thinking about that and I have to acknowledge, why I'm hurt, why I'm upset about it, and then just tell myself, it's going to be okay. Because again, we do have her beautiful music to live on by. It is definitely better to have loved than lost, than never have loved at all. And I really, again, hope that her music goes viral right now and really can connect to some people who really need to hear some real loving music that promotes love and prosperity for melanated people, especially. Really for everyone, but especially for melanated people because she loved our skin. And that was a part of who she was. So I want to share that first and foremost. I'll probably talk more about the fast that I'm going to be starting soon. I mentioned in the live yesterday. Thank you so much for being here, Flower Child. I appreciate you. I started yesterday with the major cleanse, taking advantage of the planetary alignment as well as the new moon, and we started to cleanse some addictions. And that's going well, but I want to get deeper into that and share my fasting. You're having issues with fasting, then you come to the right place. You've come to the right place because I have been fortunate to connect with some really wonderful companies that are in my showcase currently that help a lot. Is currently that help a lot with fasting, and so I'm going to be making some more videos promoting and explaining that because a lot of us have to understand. A lot of us have to understand is not a one size fit all type of thing. There are adjustments that we all need to make per our blood type, per our body type. I feel like I'm starving and not sure how to go about fasting correctly. I don't want to make too many assumptions, but I'm going to I'm going to say that you probably need some minerals and iron during your fast. from my mouth. You probably need some iron during your fast. A lot of us are deprived of iron and minerals, and we're not getting enough of it in our food. We'll talk more about it soon. I'm I want to make sure I give the correct dedicated amount of time and energy to this topic. But there's a lot of minerals that we can take to hype up our immune system, to hype up our body while we are going through a fast. And a lot of us are not made aware of these things, or we'll hear about them and see about them in different culture hits. But a lot of people are not offering, organic options. A lot of people are not given the correct information based on the people that they're connecting to. So I want to make sure that, I'm connecting you all to products that I know work, products that are uplifting, and products that will help through fasting. And so we'll definitely talk more about that soon. Um, Again, my goal wasn't, hey, Mama Rita, peace and prosperity to you. My goal wasn't to have a somber live today, but the reality of it is that, again, we have to attach and detach from our feelings and our emotions. I can't, as a loving leader, come out here and not do that myself in front of y'all transparently, and look myself in the eye and say I do the right thing today. I'll never want to question if I did the right thing. I just want to do it and deal with whatever consequences come with it later. So we're gonna keep it short today. Um, I'll definitely be back on tomorrow. I may even get back on later tonight. Just kind of get a feel of how everyone's energy is feeling this Saturday. Hey, Elevated. I'm sorry that you just catching us as we heading out. Love to see you. Peace and prosperity. Like I said, I may get back on later again this evening. Just kind of check and see how everybody's feeling. See what everybody's going through on this Saturday. But I didn't initially want to only talk about Angie Stone, but I definitely had to, as I promised, transparency, allow my feelings to be available to myself. Allow myself to feel the grief and then work my way through it, not away from it. Don't run from your feelings. No matter what it is, do not run from your feelings. Allow yourself to embrace it, but just the same way you embrace it, you have to let it go. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Um, I will be back on tomorrow. I'll probably post this replay for YouTube. And peace and prosperity to everyone.